Hello everyone, we're back here with some GLEC Overwatch. We're going up against, what is it called again? Oh my
Um,
gosh,
hmm?
I just remembered it.
I can't see because of the red line. Oh,
Cleary,
clear. There we go.
Cleary.
Okay.
So we're going
Sorry
up
about that.
against Cleary.
Mhm.
They are 9-0 though, and we are 5-2 currently.
Yes.
So this is GLEC. These are matches that determine if our Overwatch team is going to the playoffs,
Mhm.
LAN playoffs, of course.
Yep, so these
So.
are very important matches for us, for Valpo Esports. Right now, we have our varsity players here. I don't think we actually have our entire full ideal lineup, but we're
No.
gonna have to run it with what we got. The very least, we need to make do. So,
Doing research on me or something?
doing a little bit of
Yeah.
planning in the spawn rooms. It looks like they might be going for a sim TP play, maybe a little bit of a Lucio
Oh,
gaming
that's
as
because
well.
it's binaural.
Yep. So as
Glad
of
you
late, so currently we do not have one of our support players and one of our DPS players.
Hmm.
So we're going for a little bit more of an untraditional roster, but should still be all right.
I'm expecting to swap the Tracer. Yep, there it is. Swap the Tracer. And looks like we are going out with almost exactly mirrored comps, except
Harissa.
Clearsea has the Orisa instead of Valpo's Diva here. So we're gonna see which makes better use of the comps. Looks like we have a bit of a Tracer duel going on here. No recall on that Tracer. Forces them to back off a little bit. This makes this
Yep.
Tracer duel favorable for Fusix here. The
Music.
echo is pretty low, and that's a big cooldown on Cleanse.
Currently though, right now nobody has taken point, which is kind of good but kind of bad.
Catches the
going
Lucio on a
down.
movement, but sacrifices the echo for it, and now with the
Yep.
DMAC, there goes
That
the
goes
tank. So now you're in a dangerous position here. You gotta make a play.
Yep, and unfortunately Kiriko
Yep,
is.
just takes the carry with you as you go out. All right, so the first capture goes to Cleary University here. So Valpo gonna have to push in.
So looking at this one, I think it was nice to stagger that Kiri, but the main thing right now that I've been seeing is that the Echo really needs to get taken care of.
The main thing I also want to draw attention to is we have a swap here. We have the swap to the mirroring Orisa here, as opposed to trying to run the Diva. They must feel it is better to just stick with the Orisa, stick with the staying power that Orisa offers instead of the Diva.
He's like trying to take down that Echo. There's definitely
Trying to
seeing
poke the Echo out.
Damage that this Echo is
Lucio
doing.
getting caught pretty low as well.
Oh, unfortunately.
Terra Surge for our Lucio instead.
Yep.
There's both of our supports. All right, that's another fight down for Valpo. Gonna have to make a change here. Trying to take one out, though.
One thing I could definitely see them doing is possibly going some sort of hit scan to make it easier to take down that Echo. But currently we're not seeing any swaps. We do have a pulse bomb, but they also have a pulse bomb. And Kiri is also a kind of important thing to worry about.
The big thing here is, one, are they going to get a stick? Because that's either going to force out Cleanse, or if they're able to force out Cleanse. But in comes a copy, and out comes Gates from Valpo. This is big, actually, because they are still 20 to beat. So they're not going to be able to counter this. So see if Valpo can get some work done with this.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it, though. Down their Echo.
We're down the DPS, and unfortunately we're just not able to.
Huge B comes in, tries to save the Orisa, but not quite able to. Out comes the Gates from Clearing, but Pulse,
That Echo.
this is still, it's a scrappy, but it's a winnable fight. Becoming a little less now. It is overtime, so Valpo needs to make a play. No, half a second on Fly.
Yep, half a second there, and just unfortunately not being able to take that point back. So going into this next fight, I think going the Echo duel is not really working for us right now. I think maybe a good idea would probably be to go some sort of hit
I like
scan.
the Diva swap. I like the Diva swap here, Diva will be better able to deal with the Echo, put some pressure on that, and also able to just control multiple angles.
Yeah.
Swap to a Sombra as well off of the Echo.
Oh yeah. And we're also
Opting to not take that duel anymore.
We're
I
also
like that.
we're also seeing a Moira swap. Fusic's probably going to be going and putting down a teleporter and then doing then
I
switching
don't
back to
hate
her.
that Moira swap at all. I think it's better to deal with the Tracer, and now they don't know this yet, but they are rolling out with a Genji, so that Moira is actually going to be a really good pick. Gets a little bit of accidental spy check. I think they were trying to shoot
Yep.
the Diva, so they now know they have a Sombra.
Yep. And that's something that you really want to have, like, not be aware of, is that there's a Sombra, but unfortunately right now we don't really have that ability. Still,
Hack the Mega, which is really good. Now taking any fight here right next to the point is actually favorable towards Valpo, just that extra Mega healing being able to keep people up. Sombra getting some pressure on their Orisa. Their Orisa's taking a lot of damage here. If they can keep the sustain on their team fight, they can actually try to wear this Orisa down or search for somebody else. Lucio trying to go for a boot here.
Unfortunately,
they just need an opening pick.
Unfortunately, there's just a lot of damage being taken right now.
And there comes in the Mega play, the hack of the Mega, and that's it.
Yep.
Didn't have fly. So now, gets a pick back. No, this is now back out. The translocator got hit on the pillar. DM on the Tracer, get him out. There we go.
Yep.
All right, regroup, and now they're in a similar situation to how they were in the last point. They have to push in on to Cleary here, and gotta be able to make a play here. Something's gonna have to change. They are a little bit behind on support ult, so looking to get a rush before they get beat, you're gonna have to rush almost immediately if you even want to try to do that.
Yep.
Good pick on the Tracer though.
We are looking at that good of pick, which is very nice.
I like the rush. Nice kill on the Cleary.
Kill.
All right, this is looking like a one team fight for Valpo unless Cleary decides to invest ults, which they are. This is now kind of scary for Valpo. Gotta give time for this beat to wear down, which would give an open opportunity for Valpo to push back in. They did not get much done with that beat besides just staying alive, so I would consider that a win.
I really think that beat was very good for Valpo in the long term. Unfortunately,
didn't get the DMAC off though. Diva is down, still looking very good. Trying to duel this Cleary a little bit. Dueling a Cleary is actually surprisingly scary as a Tracer. She can just 2-tap you.
Yeah, unfortunately there was just nobody else really left. Though that is kind of a wasted blade, as all it does is take care of the Sombra.
I would consider that a win for Valpo, being able to get that blade out. That means you don't really have to worry about that threat anymore.
Yep. That is that was 2 ults that got down very low right there.
We're also seeing from Cleary the swap to a Sojourn instead of the Tracer. So a little bit more of a poke style here. Fits a little bit better with the Orisa, I feel. So gonna see how Valpo plays around it. Looks like they're gonna try to pressure that Sojourn out. Uh-oh.
Yep,
a little bit of a rock, between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
And down goes the Moira as well. If you can seal this kill on the Genji, it might be good, but nope. And now we see the swap to Sojourn from Atlas as well.
There's not a lot they can do. They just need to try and get out. Unfortunately, Mech goes down, so leaving them in a very bad place. They could still touch. Tracer is probably the best chance right now. Tracer also is 4 away from Pulse, which could get some very necessary
Just trying to build the mech back. Going into a last fight at 99% without a Diva in mech is going to be very, very detrimental here for Valpo. Trying to look for a stick target. I would look for the Soldier. Sojourn or maybe Lucio. Just goes for the Orisa, takes the guaranteed stick, but not enough damage to really kill that wall of a tank.
No, that beat was the beat from Cleary was just very good. It was able to take care of and completely negate any potential that Pulse would have done against them. So
Valpo going down 0-1 in maps against Cleary here. So gonna have to make some changes to their plans here. They saw that mirroring the comp didn't quite work out in their favor. So they're gonna have to make some swaps. It's not called counter swap watch for nothing. So we're gonna see what adjustments they need to make and see if they can make them.
So we are going into a hybrid style, I believe that's what they said. I
Yes, I
always
believe so.
forget the rules. They're always so different from
Yeah,
each
looks
one.
like it's a hybrid.
Yeah. So going into hybrid, we got a lot of choices. I would not be surprised from a King's Row. I know Valpo really likes that. And it's also really nice because Rhine is viable now, which,
Yeah,
is pretty good.
as he should. When Ryan is meta, the game is better.
That is the common phrase, is from what I've
Heck yeah.
heard. So,
All
oh,
right, so it looks like we have a Midtown pick.
interesting. I don't disagree.
I don't dislike it. Valpo has shown that we like to play those more pokey comps
Hmm.
a little bit of a mixed poke. Uh, Not really your general like one angle poke. They like to play
Yeah.
the multi-angle poke. Not quite dive, but definitely off angle poke here. And Midtown is pretty good for that. You just need to be able to get past the first point, but multi-angle poke makes that very good. So
Yeah.
I don't hate this pick. And we've also seen a Sojourn from Valpo as well. So something more traditional poke, longer range pressure
Yeah.
is definitely within Valpo's skill set.
I think going into this fight, though, I would really like to see possibly Fusick on the Sojourn. Fusick Sojourn is very good. Um,
Mhm.
so possibly would be a very good choice going into that. But I could also see the Tracer coming out from Fusick. It just really depends who's more
Mhm.
comfortable on what. I've seen both players play both characters. I
Mhm.
think I've seen both of them play like half of the DPS roster. So
Yeah. So it's gonna come down to what character changes that we got, and maybe even what player is playing the same character. So I agree with you. I think maybe Fusick on Sojourn here, because as you said, Midtown has a bit more of a longer range pressure than the general Tracer really likes. You can do it, but it's not necessarily ideal. So maybe something more like a Sojourn, something more traditionally poke would serve Valpo better. So
yeah,
we'll see what changes they think they need to make, because at the end of the day, they're the ones in the chair, so we got to see if they're the ones who can do it. So let's find out. It looks like Valpo is Valpo on defense or offense. I can never remember.
we love this pizza restaurant from Valpo. We have
Heck
some
yeah.
funny like internal jokes from it. So it's
Um,
but we are going for the attack
Mario,
here.
Nintendo reference, Smash Bros. Eh?
Yeah.
So, yep, looks like
Depends.
Valpo is starting off on the attack. I wasn't quite sure to start, but yep, we are on the attack here. And it
Yeah.
looks like Cleary is going out with with characters we've seen from them before, but not at the same time. They're actually going the Sojourn
Yeah.
that I said that might be better for longer range poke, and they're actually going the Echo. I kind of like
Mm.
that option from their perspective,
Yes.
being able to have that aerial poke, especially on Midtown defense first point. You can poke over the top of the subway and really put a lot of pressure on them from that
I
direction.
I am also not hating this May and Ramatra play. Ramatra is just a general good pick overall.
Mhm.
So going for Ramatra on any map is just a good choice.
Yeah, it looks like Valpo is going for a bit of a brawl style. The problem with that is kind of the Orisa trying to play brawl into an Orisa who is pretty much just the anti-brawl tank. Gonna make that difficult, so we're gonna see how they play around it. Just getting a little bit of ult charge off this Orisa. Pulls up the wall, tries
Beautiful
to
wall.
isolate. Had Fortify to get out, but there's still a lot of pressure coming in on this Orisa. But very much the
Unfortunately,
same
just
could be
a
said
lot
about
of-
Little Flaps here. Gets
Not a
out
lot
with
of
50 HP left. Just manages to survive. But this
literally
pressure's still coming in from Valpo.
literally living on a prayer there. Atlas doing actually doing some very good work on Tracer.
Oh, down goes
Unfortunately,
two from
though,
Valpo, and
yep.
Lucio is one. Yeah, this is looking like
Not
a
good.
lost attack, but that is just fine. You don't often expect to get attacks on the first push, so getting a lot of good pressure there, just trying to get out, but wasn't quite able to.
Yeah, there was a.
Looking at the ult percentages here, though, Cleary looks like they got the better of it. Their percents are a lot higher than ours on
Yeah,
almost
definitely.
almost every ult. Not quite all of them, but almost. So
We do have a higher thing for Cleary. However, I don't know if I'd want to gate into this next fight.
if we want to be able to gates without them having the opportunity to counter gates, we need to gates pretty much now. But what's scary is now you're down both your DPS and they have Terra Surge to deal with that. So looks like you are just gonna have to try to get away. But
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna be able to.
Yeah, what I think might have been possibly good is trying to bait out at least one of their alts, maybe. But unfortunately, they just couldn't. Very good alt management by their hands.
That might have just been a little bit of a dry fight.
I like
Nice
that.
isolation there. Finding the Sojourn out of position with a wall. That was really nice find. And they had the OC as well.
I like this Blizzard coming out. They're all grouped together.
But
Maybe you might see that.
Cleary is coming up on 5 ults here. So yeah, they have 5 ults now. In comes the gates. Isolates the Orisa a little bit though. In comes the counter gates.
I like.
And in comes the Q Dominoes, just trying to get the better end of it. Still holding on to the pulse. Decides to use it, just misses the stick.
Just whiffing it.
And down. And Valpo has the first kill. And nope, there. Down goes Valpo. Invested a lot of ults there, but so did Cleary. Notice they used 4 ults there. They only have Overclock left. Now you're walking in with your Mantra ult and almost a Coalescence, but you're also walking in with a Widowmaker. Gonna try to get a pick here. I don't hate that swap. Better to deal with the Echo and just a longer range than the Sojourn. So getting an opening pick is going to be really important, but looks like they already know about the Widow because they are playing tight up on that high ground.
Yep, probably heard something from the background. Very difficult to hear some of those smaller cues, but
good pull.
Unfortunately,
down goes your Widow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, not quite, but down goes both supports.
Yeah,
both supports down. So
unfortunately, not much else you can do. There goes your rest of them, and it's only just the tank left.
Too.
There's
having
not
to go into this fight
here.
without Annihilation. All right, so you're walking in with a Coalescence, halfway to a Pulse, halfway
I don't
to a
think they get a touch here, I'm gonna be honest.
No, not with that boop from the Lucio, sealing their fate. Going to have to get a full hold if Valpo wants to be able to keep this wrap going and not go down 0-2.
Yep. So this is gonna need to be a tie if Valpo wants to potentially get another game after this one. Looking at this, not a lot I think we can do in some case scenarios. We really just need to group. We need to try and take some off angles and try and take down their supports before they take down ours.
Off angling. I agree. Off angling would be good. Off angles is hard to find on Midtown. That's just an issue with the map choice itself. But granted, their other options weren't that much better for that specifically.
Exactly.
On the last round, Fusix showed that they were willing to pull out the Widow, but I agree. I think Sojourn is just simply the safer choice here. Widow might work for a fight or two, but you are going to need to rely on that full hold, so not worth that that risk. Opting to go for the Zarya is interesting here.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I can't necessarily say I agree with it either, but at this point, let them cook.
Yeah, let them cook.
If they have something in mind, that they have a plan, they can execute it. You know what? Who am I to argue if they think they got it figured out?
Yeah, the main thing right now that I really want to see from Valpo is knocking down at least one of their supports and dealing with that Echo. Those are the biggest problems I've noticed, just in general. Unfortunately, Sojourn taking a different angle from everyone else.
I think that one of the biggest issues, nice find on the Sojourn with the rail headshot. I think a big issue that Valpo was having was that they would be getting an opening pick, but then when they try to push in, they're pushing it onto an Orisa, and it's really hard to push past that. But now the Orisa has to be the one to push into them, so they're able to control the fight, the speed of the fight.
One of the things I've also noticed from Cleary is that they have been hard sticking the Orisa pretty much. They do not want to switch off that Orisa.
Which I'm which I don't disagree with the Zarya pick for that. Zarya is pretty good against Orisa, able to kind of just deal with her, kind of just ignore her, get some energy off of it too. So
Main thing right now, we just need bubble management, and we got 100 charge on that Zarya.
Heck yeah, we did.
That
This
is
Zarya is
beautiful
going to be
for
beaming.
us.
But now with 0 bubbles, gonna have to worry a little bit about this pressure that might come in. But looks like we're all right. That's no cleanse though, which is good.
We are going into this beautiful, forcing them all to group together.
Forcing them all except the Echo. The Echo is still off to the side.
Fortunately, we don't
caught
have,
out with no bubbles.
We don't have bubbles there. That's a DPS.
Gets one more and that's it. And it looks like that is a lost team fight for Valpo.
And that's unfortunately
tries to use the OC, but not able to get it. Valpo now down 0-2 against Cleary here. Gonna have to make a change.
Yes.
You attempted to make a change there. It went a little better, but not quite good enough. So see if you can push it just a little bit more.
Yeah. If we didn't have Flashpoint next, I would very much so argue sticking this Zarya because they were giving her max charge pretty much going into it. Who knows what
I hear what the
is.
next map type is actually. I love how the rules are so whack that we don't even know them half the time. So always got to pull out the reference.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I always have to pull out the Discord announcement rule, so I just have to pull it out. I can never remember.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't really have that since this is GLEC. Typically, though, a better choice would be not better choice. Typically, it's whatever each team picks. Like, if both teams agree to go to escort, then
it looks like it is escort, and we actually pick circuit. Interesting. You know, I don't disagree. Valpo has definitely shown that they like to play poke with the Fusix on the Sojourn is scary, as we've seen in the last round, able to get picks on their Sojourn and some other key targets, but this is definitely a very, very much poke map. So I would expect to see a poke long-range pressure out of both Fusix and Atlas on the defense, and honestly on the offense as well. I would expect a Sojourn on the offense from both sides, honestly, and something longer range, probably something like a Widow, maybe an Ashe if you're feeling spicy.
Yeah, there's a Widow both sides. Okay.
I'm a genius. And actually running double sniper on Cleary. Interesting.
Honestly, kind of both.
Not uncommon, but a little less than expected here. Looks like Clear C is actually running a very standard poke comp.
Yep, very
with
standard.
The Widow.
Bap and Zen is a very powerful duo.
Those are the poke supports.
It's a very powerful duo, honestly.
We're actually running the Ana Kiri here. I don't disagree. If it wasn't for the Ashe and the Widow, I would say that maybe a Bap, but Ana is going to have a better chance of healing both of those up. And being able to do a little bit of long-range pressure herself, being a sniper and all, but not the most ideal, as if the Ana is taking sightlines, the Widow is scary on the other team. So getting a decent amount of space here, though.
Fortunately, our Widow does go down. Fusix just not able to get a pick.
Nice shot.
Getting the Hanzo down. Main thing right now is that Zen absolutely.
Atlas with the very, very clean Ashe shots here.
Unfortunately, though, neither of those are able to get a pick right now. Needing a lot of healing currently right now. Barely missing that headshot.
And down goes our Kiri. This push is gonna be shakier for it, but we do trade supports. But down goes our other DPS.
I don't actually hate that to some extent. Our Kiri will be back faster than their Zen will be. Zen is a very slow character. Unfortunately, though, Fusix does go down again.
This is now very dangerous to try to hold this corner. This corner is so difficult to hold. Nice shield on the Widow grapple.
It's very difficult going into this Widow duel, I feel like, and I mean, if Fusick is confident, I'm not
If anybody's
gonna
take
fight him,
the Widow duel, I would have it be Fusick. He has shown
yeah.
such competency with this hero. His aim is simply incredible. Maybe standing directly in front of the Sig is a little bit iffy, but goes for the Flux.
Unfortunately,
Not able to get any kills, but our Sig is so low. Down goes our Widow.
Go down. One of the problems
Here comes
here,
the rush, though. Ah, there's the Widow. That's the problem with this map that's so poke heavy. If you lose the Widow duel, the Widow has such incredible sight lines all throughout your team. So once that Widow goes down and the opposing Widow has free range, it's a shooting gallery from there.
one of the other problems that's definitely not helping Fusick in this Widow duel is just the fact that the R team has a Zen, so Widow doesn't have to charge fully for her shots, whereas Fusick does need to charge fully.
Mostly, yeah. The main issue is that they have double sniper and Sig, so just there's so much pressure to find this Widow, and Fusick's sightlines are so limited on the attacking side that where can they really try to set up? This window bearing down on the point here, making Little Flaps have to take so much damage with just the sheer pressure.
Solo Bap, interesting choice.
I agree with the solo BAP. It does force out Lamp and the Trans, so definitely some pretty good value out of that. Trying to push up, did finally get past this bridge here though.
Unfortunately, there is a dragon going on point.
Looking for the Widow duel here.
Yep, and that just takes several members of Valpo down. The BAP swap and a Zen swap to try and mirror them right now.
And
Besides
back, Valpo goes to the spawn rooms. Gotta re-push. Gotta do it all again.
The main thing I think would be very helpful right now is possibly seeing a
I like the Tracer swap. Trying to have an off angle, have a flanker to try to just distract and just get focus away from just the front line. But down goes that Tracer. There goes that sideways pressure. Now is all bearing down on Valpo here. In comes another Flux.
Yep, and unfortunately just so many damage, and Widow won't be able to touch. There's just nothing much more Valpo could do right there. Looking there, one thing I really wish could have happened before the Widow took out Atlas, which is the Tracer, would have just been to get that stuck bomb. I think maybe a pulse bomb on that Widow would have been very helpful, but we'll have to see.
I'm expecting pretty much the same picks from Valpo. Probably either a Widow Sojourn, Widow Ashe, or a Sojourn Ashe is my guess.
Yeah, it's
for the DPS line. It's pretty much gonna be Sig Mir on this map. He's just very strong, and the support mirrors. Interesting pick from Cleary though. Valpo is not gonna know it, but out comes a Genji. Assuming they don't swap, which they definitely could. They are just in the spawn room after all. But if they decide to stick with the lineup they have now, that's a little bit of an interesting one.
Also with that, they can actually try very different, not very different. They have more ability to choose different things just because their spawn is going to be so much closer.
Exactly.
A single death for Valpo means trekking all the way back over here for just a simple...
I love it when teams agree to enable skins. It just makes it more fun.
Yes.
I like it. So looks like they are actually sticking on the Genji here. I don't know if Valpo has gotten to see it yet. I don't know if they know about it, but...
Should probably will know about it fairly quickly.
Trying to just hold this corner here, as you often see on circuit. Having a little bit of a Widow duel here. The Widow duel is always so scary because especially for Valpo,
and
you're on
unfortunately
so much pressure to win
goes
it.
down. This is gonna create things, but there was several times where our zone went down. Oh, and there goes
Yikes.
the DPS.
But there goes
Their
down.
Widow
There's Widow.
goes down. But unfortunately, this is leaving us
There's
in
Little
bad
Flaps, yep.
position. And unfortunately,
And
that's
down
it.
Valpo goes. So sadly, Valpo goes down 0-3 against Cleary. Very good showing.
Mhm.
I want to emphasize that Valpo did play very well. Just happened to get beat. It was a very strong play.
Very strong play there. Just
Nice shot.
very difficult. A Widow was just very oppressive on that
Mhm.
corner.
I mean, that's Circuit Royale for you. So
Yep, that is.
very nice play from
Mhm.
Valpo. Overwatch wasn't able to secure the win, but still very good games nonetheless. So thank
Yep.
you guys for tuning in.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you, and
And
we'll see you next time.
we'll see you next time.